Well, here we go, on the way to work. This is the commute. Oh, Fabrizio, always leave your boots in the way. And here we are, extremely untidy, as always. It's always untidy in a different way every day, which always cheers me up. If it were the same untidy, it would be awful. But different untidy, I can take. Well, welcome back to Common Farm Flowers. There's Fabrizio going off to get fish and chips for a fish supper. It's Thursday, and in fashionable Bruton, there's a fish and chip van at the Godminster Farm shop on a Thursday night. So anyway, we're all going to benefit from that. So, for the first time in a very long time, I'm prepping wedding flowers. Oh, tea cake. And as you can see, the barn is full of all sorts of bits and pieces. Tomorrow's going to be a very early start, about 5 o'clock in the morning, and all the wedding flowers will be picked up by lunchtime. There's my daughter running around, just checking she's not coming in and disturbing us. Anyway, 5 o'clock start tomorrow. And I thought I would just film little bits of it as I went through the day, and you'd get an idea of how we plan and organise ourselves for a wedding flowers here at Common Farm in Somerset. I am very organised. Even in the far off distance, there are boxes made up so that for the brides and the bridesmaids, flowers can go in and everything. I lay everything up sort of minutely before I even start work. But then I know I've got everything I need, and it all goes quite quickly, I hope. Still, 5 o'clock start. Okay, I'll give you a bit more. This is where I've got the bride and the bridesmaids vases set up, and I even have a different size vase for the bride and the bridesmaids, so I know exactly how many I've got to do. All the ingredients for the buttonholes are safely already tucked in their own little vases, and there are test tubes for the buttonholes to be put, the boutonniere, if you're American. There are test tubes filled up with water for the buttonholes to be popped into when I've made them. So I know exactly what I've got to do. There's a basket over there for fresh petal confetti. We're all set. Okay, I'll see you in the morning. 5 o'clock, lads. Morning all, 5 in the morning. I've got some cow parsley, and I'm going to wire the cow parsley into little bunches for the girls to wear in their hair. That's my first job. There are 3 bridesmaids and a bride, and they're going to have 45 little bunches of wired flowers to tuck in their hair, which I do think will look very, very pretty. Anyway, that's job number 1. The birds are singing. Tea Cake the boarder is fast asleep still, refusing to get up, but I've opened the door in case she wants to join us. And I'm whispering because I don't want to wake anybody else up. So 45 of these, not all the same kind of flowers, but I'll get on and I'll join you later. There we are. Little bunches of cow parsley, daisies, individual pinks, peonies, aquilegia, all for tucking into people's hair. And each little bunch or little stem has been wired, except for the peonies, which are so strong and are not going anywhere, so they don't really need it. So I'm nearly finished, and I have individually wired 45 different little flowers to go in everybody's hair. So little tiny bunches of daisies would be sweet, wouldn't they? Tucked in, obviously not in my hair, but tucked in somebody else's hair. That would look really very attractive. Anyway, they all have to stay in water, so I'm going to tuck them in water and imagine how sweet that'll be. That's the first job I've done. The reason I've done it first is it's the most fiddly and ever so slightly irritating. So I've done it now, and now I can start having a nice time. Number 1, now I'm moving on to the buttonholes. So there's my first buttonhole. I always make mine with 5 dinky stems, really sweet. And then it's very important to put the pin in the back before you hand them over, because otherwise, at the last minute, everybody's looking for the pins. Also very, very sweet in fresh petal confetti are these pinks, because the mix, that's so sweet. I love it. I'll show you in a second. I'll just do these ones. I'm more or less done. And I think a basket of fresh petals is such a good idea. If you have time on the morning of a wedding and you have some garden, it's always worth walking around and picking out some blown flowers to make a basket of confetti. Look at this. Can you see? I really am bad at filming. Anyway, you get the big idea. Look at that. There you go. So here is the bride finished, and I think it's always really important to sort of try the bride's bouquet on. So while I am no beautiful bride, it's worth having a look at it and see how it moves. I think the movement is very important, and I love the fact it's got lots and lots of things to look at, because it's nerve-wracking being a bride. And that moment before you walk down the aisle, it's my job to give the bride something really beautiful to look at. There we go. And now I pack everything up in boxes. So there we go. The end of another day at Common Farm Flowers. In the end, I did 2 little weddings, quite a lot of bouquets to go to people's houses for the weekend. And now this one looks like a compost heap and I need to clear it all up. But it's Friday night and the weekend is ahead. If you have enjoyed this video, then do subscribe and press the bell icon, and we'll make sure that we let you know when we have another video coming up. What are you doing this weekend in the garden? I am finally going to really get to grips with finishing taking the tulips out and getting the dahlias in. So thank goodness we've got 3 whole days. Bank holiday weekend is just up my strasse. Anyway, better clear up in here first. See you soon. Have a lovely weekend. Bye. And then 2 weddings, 12 posies for a house party, and more flowers for another house done. We come out here to grow stuff. This is the hairy polytunnel department, because this is why we do it, so that we can make meadows, which do look very nice in the early morning as the sun comes over the hedge. You see?